Okay, just thought I'd put this together. What I've done is same thing, nothing really new, except for the fact that I've reduced it down to the simplest setup for somebody to try out, and that the only thing that's custom made is your little coil, same one that I've been playing around with, but I've reduced the circuit down to a single ceramic capacitor for those that don't have a variable capacitor. And there's a single capacitor, 1 microfarad. I believe that's a tantalum, correct me if I'm wrong, and the other one's a ceramic. 1 resistor, 2 standard inductors with the values shown, and the MPS A06. Now you may have some trouble. I went through a lot of MPS A06s. Recommendation from G. Bluer, who you know puts together some pretty darn good circuits. He buys them by like 100 at a time, and then you check the HFE and go from there. Pick your best ones, use those in your slayers or your various exciter circuits. But there you have it, just a very basic sort of setup for you to try if you don't have a variable capacitor. Now you might have to add or subtract some capacitance, and that was the trickiest thing for me, was to go from my variable capacitor to just a fixed capacitor. Honestly, I don't think I could have done it. I wouldn't have the patience to do it without a variable capacitor. But because if you range 100 picofarad out, it won't necessarily work depending upon your setup, and that's kind of the tricky spot. And I'd send you to a link to the place where I bought my variable capacitors, but the guy's not selling them right now. But he's called 7 Day Radio on eBay, and they're kind of expensive, so it is nice if you can reduce it down to this. Although I can't get plasma out of this. I have to fine tune it very carefully with the variable capacitor to get plasma. But there's something to play with if you're interested. Thanks very much to Jonnydavro, and of course to Dr. Stifler, who started all this stuff. And I should mention, as pointed out to a couple of enthusiasts, that Dr. Stifler's circuit is all about something entirely more cool than this. But I consider it a learning progress, and this is not a replication of his work, nor does Johnny consider it to be. You know, his work is beyond a lot of us, me including, and I don't see any other way than playing around with it to at least familiarize yourself with it before you get into what he does. But there you have it. Thank you very much for watching.